Hi, welcome to Shrink Talks. My name's Elizabeth Daniels. I have a psychotherapy practice in Federal Way, Washington. Last week, I received an email from a woman wanting to know about relationships, finding a good relationship. She said that she'd been in multiple relationships and they always end the same way, and she's so sick of it. And she was wondering if I could give her some tips or pointers on the pitfalls of relationships. So I thought today that could be our topic. So I came up, in thinking about this subject, I came up with 3 major pitfalls for you to watch for. Here's the first one. The first pitfall is going into a relationship thinking that the other person is there and it's their responsibility to make you happy. That is not another person's responsibility in a relationship to make you happy, and it's not your responsibility to try to make that other person happy. Because when we do that, it's a dependent relationship. It's a conditional relationship. These kinds of relationships stem from usually childhood where love has been conditional. If you perform in this way, I will love you. So now I'm not happy in my life. I'll get a relationship and the person will do or be these things, and then I'll be happy. Now the problem with this, and why this relationship cannot sustain in happiness very long, is because we can never live up to somebody else's expectations of what it means for them to be happy. We can't keep doing things and focus all our attention on making the other person happy. Another person's happiness is their responsibility. So ideally, we need to be able to develop our own sense of happiness about the world, develop our own friends, our own hobbies, our own sense of identity, so that we're become more independent. Not independent in terms of, I don't need anyone because I'm independent, but independent in terms of, if I never have a partner in life, I love life. I love my life. I have good friends. I have work I love. I have activities I love to do. I'm a happy person. Now you're ready to be in relationship with someone else. And when you're in that spot, you tend to attract other people who feel like that too. They are independent in a sense, and they're happy, and they just want a partner to share their life with like you do. And now your independent person that you now are, you bring your happiness to the relationship. The relationship becomes a third entity, and that other person comes into the relationship and brings their happiness to the relationship, to that third entity, the relationship. A friend of mine kind of described it like this. She said, let's say that you're blue and the partner that you want is yellow. And you come in, one is blue and one is yellow, and you put your colors together and you make green. Green is the relationship. Now, if you go into the relationship blue, but you're not quite blue yet, but you want to be blue, and you see another blue person and you think, oh, I'm going to get some of their blue. I want to date them because they'll make me whole and I'll feel blue and better because I'll be a whole person then. And then you start mingling with them and you're trying to suck happiness from them, suck their color from them to make you more blue. They get less blue and they don't have anything else to give, and then the relationship falls apart. So you want a whole person, a person who's satisfied with themselves, and you want to match that. The second pitfall is that we move too quickly in relationships. We move to the sexual part way too fast. We need to slow that down. I read in a book, just browsing in the bookstore, a couple of years ago, about how they used to court. Back in the olden days when there was a thing like courting, which we rarely do these days. But what they said was, we need to get to know each other physically slowly. So there's eye contact, and then there might be hand touching and hand holding, and then there's the peck on the cheek, and then there's the peck on the lips, and then there's more shoulder touching like at the movies, and then eventually, there's the hand on the knee thing, and then there's more full body contact, hugging and deeper kissing, and then it just escalates from there. And this whole process, it's stretched out over time, not all in one night, which seems to happen a lot. Expecting a relationship where that happens all in one night to last and be long term, well, yeah, there's exceptions. Maybe there's people that have been married 30 years who had that experience. But for the most part, if you're having it like that with somebody right off the bat, probably they've done that with other people too. And so they might not be a good candidate for a long-term partnered relationship. Now, not only the physical aspect we need to look at and kind of move in slowly and kind of get to know the person, there's also just the information. What's religion are they? Are they religious, or are they spiritual, or are they an atheist? And does this match with me? Does it flow with what my spiritual or non-spiritual beliefs are? What about lifestyle? Do they work nights and I work days? Are they a morning person and I'm a night person? All of these kind of more strategic things to think about. And then how do I feel when I'm with the person? Do I feel at ease? Can I be myself? Is it easy to be with this person? Do we have sort of a flow going? Sort of getting to know them psychologically. Are they dependable? Are they reliable? And are these things that are important to you? So you can't know those things overnight. You need a little bit of time to go out, go with them in different situations, like go to a movie, go on a weekend trip, especially. Be in the car for a long period of time with them. What happens? Do you still get along when you're trapped in a piece of metal or plastic? What is that like? So you need some time to get to know the person. And then the physical part kind of evolves as this getting to know each other psychologically and emotionally develops. So slowing down the dating process. The third pitfall is that we forget that we tend to match up with people who are as psychologically healthy as we are. We rarely pick people to be in relationship with who are more healthy or less healthy psychologically than we are. So here you want to focus more on yourself. Am I the person that I want to be in relationship, that I would want to be in relationship with? So you might make a list of 20 aspects of characteristics of a person psychologically, or for example, are they an honest person? Let's say you want somebody who's honest. You want somebody who has a good sense of humor. You want somebody who has a sense of fairness, who will help out and pick up the slack around the house a little bit, or they'll share in the duties, or they'll share in the financial responsibility of things, or they're respectful, or they will they're spontaneous. All of these kinds of psychological qualities that you want in somebody else, make that list and then ask yourself, am I these things? Have I developed these things? So basically here in pitfall number 3, you want to make sure that you are the person that you would want to be in relationship with. So contemplate these 3 pitfalls and liberate your mind one thought at a time. See you next week. Bye.